a long adoption journey was finally coming to an end. Josh and Sarah and their two sweet new kids that had just become their son and their daughter were at the gate at the airport ready to come home to America, and the kids' visas were rejected and they had no clue. They're in a sticky situation. We need your help. Let me tell you more about it. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. So we have a huge call to action that I really need every viewer who's watching this video to stick with me, hear this journey of some friends of ours that went to Taiwan to bring their two children home, and their children are stuck in Taiwan. And they need our assistance. And, you know, our family has been on the receiving end for many years through our adoption journeys. People just like you watching this video, friends, family, acquaintances, strangers, have donated to all of our adoptions. We're on our 4th adoption. And it has been one of the most humbling experiences to ever walk out. To see how the Lord uses people like you to help those in need. Our family has been in need going through these adoption journeys, and I want to make sure that we are paying that forward, and we are, when we see a need, we feel a need with other families who are in a sticky situation, whether they're raising money for an adoption or maybe they're going through other hardships in life. If we see a need, I want to become more quick to dive in and help where help is needed. And I'm hoping that you feel the same way. I want you to know that what I'm asking of you and the finances that I'm trying to raise for a family in need, that this call to action I take very seriously. I don't do it flippantly. I don't do it based off of emotion. I really do it based off of, I just feel how the Lord is leading me. We see a need, we see a family in need, and we need to help stand in the gap for them and relieve any kind of tension that we possibly can. There are certain things that we can't do to help this situation, but there definitely is a role for my family and for your family and anyone watching this video to help release some financial tension for this sweet couple who is trying to bring their two precious newly adopted kids home from Taiwan. So Josh and Sarah, that is who we are talking about. It's a sweet couple. A little backstory on Josh and Sarah. They live in North or South Carolina. I'm not really sure. It's one of the Carolinas. They just look like they have the best and the most fun in life. They're adventurous. I love looking at their pictures and their little date nights and just all the things that they do. And that they share on Facebook is really what drew me to them. They just look like such a fun couple who are so selfless, very giving, and who just want to grow their family. They've been married for 15 years, and they knew when they were dating that adoption would be in their future. Of course, first they tried to have their own biological children, but after years of infertility and 4 miscarriages, they kind of shut that door and have pursued adoption. They started actually in May of 2020, which is when we started our adoption process of Lily Grace. So they started right when we did, which was when COVID shut everything down. So about a year went by and they realized that China was probably not a stable adoption course to stay in, and so they changed all their documentation over to adopting from Taiwan. Josh and Sarah are not only adopting one child from Taiwan, but 2. Little Abby and little Sam, that is their names. Sam is 6 years old, Abby is 5 years old. Abby and Sam are actually biological siblings, but they didn't know they were siblings until after this adoption process started and after Josh and Sarah kind of got into it and started pursuing them. So not only are Abby and Sam gaining a mom and dad through adoption, but they're gaining a biological sibling that they had no clue about. So Abby and Sam grew up in separate places in Taiwan, knew nothing of each other until last year. And once Josh and Sarah were matched with Abby and Sam, that's when Abby and Sam got to meet for the first time, was last summer. So, I mean, it's pretty incredible. So Josh and Sarah matched with the two kiddos, and over the course of the past year, they have done Zoom calls with both kids every month. So Abby and Sam have known of mom and dad coming to get them. Like, they have been building a relationship with mom and dad. They've been anticipating gaining a new family for a year now. So finally the time had come this past May of 2023, just like a few weeks ago. It was time for Josh and Sarah to get on a plane and go bring their babies home. So a few weeks ago, Josh and Sarah arrived in Taiwan, and they're planning to be there for about 2 weeks to complete the adoption processes for both kids. So since both of the kids are in different provinces, they first plan to go to Abby's province, meet with her, take custody of her, and spend some time there with her, which they did, and it went really well. Sarah describes Abby as very spunky. She loves to dance. She loves art. She loves being in front of the camera. She's very observant of other people's feelings. She's very motherly, and she's just a little spitfire. And you can definitely see that from some of the videos that she shared with us. So the meeting went great with Abby. I don't think that they could have asked for it to have gone much better. So then, a few days later, they get ready. They go to the next province to meet Sam. So super exciting. And they knew Sam had more challenges than Abby did. But once they met him, got to spend a lot of one-on-one time with him, they realized that his special needs were a lot more severe than what was listed in all of his medical file reports. They said he has mild cerebral palsy and some cognitive global developmental delays due to a brain injury when he was much younger. She said Sam is just so sweet. She said he loves to make people laugh, he loves to sing, and he will call you out if you are off tune. So I don't know, maybe he can sing, I'm not sure, but she's like, he would call us out when we're not singing in tune or singing in the right note, which I think is so awesome.
Let it go, let it go, and then back and more. Let it go, let it go. In the cold never bothered me anyway.
He's sensitive, he loves singing and dancing, and most of all, he loves his big sister and he adores Abby. So they just sound like such sweet children. But Josh and Sarah are faced with, you know, like a lot of unknowns in his little life. And so back at home, they're trying to figure out resources for him and what kind of therapy facilities are around them that could help aid in him to be the best little Sam that he could be. And so they're just kind of faced with a lot of things that maybe they didn't know were coming. And that's scary, y'all. So they finish up their 2 weeks in Taiwan, and they get to the gate at the airport, and they are all excited. I mean, the kids are excited to go home. Abby and Sam knew that they were coming to America with mom and dad, and so they were greatly anticipating that. So they all get to the gate as a family of 4, and Josh and Sarah are able to get through just fine, and then they scan the kids' visas and they were denied. So the U.S. side denied the kids' visas. It wasn't anything that Taiwan did. It was some misunderstandings on the U.S. side of things, and out of respect for Josh and Sarah, I cannot give every detail of information that is needed, but just know that this is not something that Josh and Sarah saw coming. This wasn't anything of their own doing, and it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating how the U.S. side of things makes it so difficult for families to do the good and right thing in giving these kids homes. They make it so hard, and it's so frustrating because you have this family ready, willing, and able, and they've been dreaming of being parents for so long, and they're like denied for whatever reason at the last minute. So they're turned away, and again, they're floored. I guess they go back to their hotel or wherever they were staying and, contact their adoption agency, contact their social workers, like, what is going on here? And I don't know, again, if you've ever been in another country trying to get communication to someone in America, you can't do that easily, right? You've got a huge time difference. You can't just pick up the phone and just make 29 phone calls. Like, you've got to do emails and wait for them to respond, and then you start dealing with government entities, and it's just a whole process. So Josh and Sarah and the two kids stranded in Taiwan. Again, Taiwan has no problem with them. Like, they're legally their parents. Like, as far as Taiwan is considered, like, Josh and Sarah are mom and dad, legal parents of Abby and Sam, and there's no problem on that end of things. So I think that they were stranded in Taiwan for another 2 weeks, just kind of stuck, waiting to figure out, like, what is going on, what can be done. They incurred, obviously, as you can imagine, 2 more weeks in another country. They incurred a lot of financial strain that they weren't planning on, as well as emotional stress, physical stress. The kids seemed very smart, and so, Josh and Sarah kind of had to explain to them a little bit of what's going on, and they understood, we can't go home. Why can't we go home? And they, day by day, they just really started getting dysregulated and just having a hard time with it, as you can imagine. Me as a grown adult, I cannot wrap my brain around it. But just imagine a 5 and a 6-year-old who have already been abandoned, who have already been orphaned for much of their lives, are anticipating going home with mom and dad finally after so long, and then now we're not going home. So I just can't imagine what was going through their little brain. So Josh and Sarah couldn't really get anything done about this whole situation in country. So they had to make the hard decision in leaving the kids in Taiwan, and they just flew back home to take care of matters and to really figure out what's going on, fight it, and do everything that they possibly can to fix this error. Luckily, one of the facilities there in Taiwan said that they would take guardianship over Abby and Sam until Josh and Sarah can get to America, get all of this sorted out, speak to their congressman, speak to their state representatives, speak to USCIS, and just get all of this fixed. And then they can go back and bring their kids home. I know that was a terrible thing for Josh and Sarah to walk home empty-handed into their home when they thought they were going to be bringing their 2 new little ones into their home and showing them their new bedrooms. I just can't imagine. So while this organization is going to take care of Abby and Sam in Taiwan until this mess can get fixed, it does cost money for them to take care of these kids. So it's about $1,600 a month that Josh and Sarah have to come up with to send to this organization to take care of little Abby and Sam. It could be a month, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months. We really have no clue. So that's a huge, aside from the emotional stress of all of this, the financial stress is very thick on Josh and Sarah right now. They incurred a lot of extra debt being in country for an extra 2 weeks. They are now incurring more bills with needing to pay that monthly $1,600 to the organization in Taiwan, which they're very happy to do that because they're so thankful that they had someone who wanted to take care of those kiddos in the meantime. Josh just started a new job I believe it was this year, and so he's been going without pay because he hasn't really incurred a lot of vacation time. He ate up what vacation time he did have being in country for 2 weeks that extended to like 4 to 5 weeks, and so they have been without a paycheck for a while now. And I just need you to sit there and think about the financial strain that they are under. And I need for you to be on board with me and helping raise some money for Josh and Sarah to relieve the financial debt, to help pay for Abby and Sam to be taken care of month to month in Taiwan until they can get back. And then once they can get back, they've got airfare tickets. They've got a whole other trip that they have to plan to another country. So the financial burden that Josh and Sarah are under is extreme. And I know that people like you and people like me and my family, we can help release that financial burden. We can't release that emotional stress for them, and we can't do all the things physically and talking to representatives and the U.S. government, and we can't do those things for them to resolve this issue. But we can help donate $5, $10, $500, whatever it is for you to release that financial strain. Like, we have to do that for them. We have to do that for them. But if everyone watching this video would just donate a few dollars, whatever is comfortable for them, it would make a huge impact on Josh and Sarah and their little family. And would you please pray that the Lord moves mountains so that they can bring those kids home? They are so committed to those kids, and they so badly want to parent them. So badly. So they need our prayers. They need our financial support. So I have Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, or if you want to mail, if you would rather put a check in snail mail and send it to me, I will gladly give you my address to get that done as well. But just rest assured that every penny will go straight to Josh and Sarah, and it will be so greatly appreciated. I'm going to leave in the description box my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App. And if you want my address, just leave a comment and I will further discuss in a more private manner. I'll give you my address. I don't want to just post my address, on YouTube. So again, this is a tangible thing that we can do to help them with this whole situation. There are certain things we can't do, certain things we can do. We do what we can do, okay? So thank y'all for being here. Again, all the information is in the description box below. Once the money starts rolling in and such, I'm just going to send it straight to them. And I know it will be a huge blessing for them and hopefully release a little bit of that burden that they're carrying. I greatly appreciate all of your support, all of your prayers for this sweet family. And I'm just really excited to see what the Lord's going to do. So thank y'all for being here. Check the description box below for all the information on how to donate. And we'll see you next time.